Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Indigo Diamond here with another video, here to talk about the final episode of All Stars 7. Yes, wow, it's been a wild ride. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video. I don't know why I'm pointing over here, like that's where they are. They're going to be down there somewhere. Yeah, let's get into this. Right. Final episode of All Star 7. We have finally made it after weeks and weeks of seeing these queens just do really well, apart from a couple of scafoos. But, you know, not everyone can be great at everything, and that's perfectly okay. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. It's still been an amazing season. It's sad that it's over. I'm really, really sad that it's not going to be on our TVs every week now. It's been really nice just seeing these queens like be here and do really well. So yeah, sad times, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about, you know, the lip sync LaLaPaRuza, and who went against who won, and yeah, who became the queen of She Done Already Done Had Herses, and who became the queen of queens. So what we'll do first is we'll start off with the queen of She Done Already Done Had Herses. And then, yeah, we'll move on to the main event. I mean, you know, the winner of the season. So, up for the title of Queen of She Done Already Done Had Herses, we have Vivian, Evie, Jada, and Raja. So, these four queens did really well this season, got to show a lot more of themselves than they may have done in their original seasons, even though they won. But, you know, especially someone like Raja, who hasn't been on Drag Race for many, many years at this point, it was great to be able to see her come back and, you know, just do really well this season and show us that she's not just the fashion queen. So, all four queens come out on the stage and we have the usual, like, finale lip sync wheel. That's the word I was trying to think of. And it has all four of their faces on them. We spin the wheel to see who's going to be up first, and up first is the Vivian. Yes, Vivian's going to be in our first lip sync. We spin the wheel again to find out who she's going to be going against, and it lands on Evie Oddly. So our first pairing are Evie and Vivian, which means in round 2 it will be Raja versus Jada. Now, Raja and Jada go and sit down because they're not in the first lip sync. And then Bruno and Bryce come out with boxes. They say one's a brass box and one's a platinum box, but one's clearly gold. Like the one they're like brass is clearly gold. Because for me, brass is more of like a copper colour. And this was clearly gold. It's like the platinum plunger thing. It's like, oh, the platinum plunger, which is definitely gold. It's not platinum at all. It was definitely like a gold and silver box, but I mean, silver and platinum are like very similar colours, so that didn't bother me. It was the gold brass situation that was a bit like, what is happening? That do you not know your colours? Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. Anyway, Vivian gets told to pick what box she wants. Does she want the brass box or the platinum box? And Vivian goes for the platinum box, which comes, I can't remember. Is it Pump It by Salt and Pepper? Yeah, it wasn't really the right choice for Vivian, was it? I will say, it was still a good lip sync. Vivian did do her best to try and keep up with Evie, but it was quite clear this wasn't a Vivian song, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all have our own types of musics that we're better with than, you know, other types of musics. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a very normal thing to happen. But I do think Viv maybe got in ahead. Well, not necessarily got in ahead, but she kind of like knew that this wasn't necessarily her type of song, and at one point she started doing some moves that didn't necessarily go with the song, but she was like, I know they laughed at this before, so if I do it now, maybe it will help. Completely get that. I'm sure I would have, me and many other people would have done a similar thing in that sort of situation where they're like, oh, how can I, this isn't my sort of song, how can I give myself the edge? There's something that the judges found funny in previous episodes. bring that in because it might help. Completely get that. No issues there. Vivian still does not win the lip sync. The lip sync does go to Evie, which means Evie is moving on to round 2, and Vivian, unfortunately, this is where her journey ends this season. Vivian's done very well this season, and they do not leave her going away empty-handed. She gets a little scepter, as does everyone else. Everyone that doesn't win gets their own little scepter, which I think is very nice, considering they're all winners, that they all get something. And she has a nice little moment where she essentially thanks Ru for everything that's happened, and, you know, everything. And then she leaves the stage, and Evie's already gone because she's, you know, going to get ready for the second lip sync. So up next we have Jada versus Raja. I can't for the life of me remember what this song is. Nope, can't remember. But I remember when it started, I was like, I feel like this is more of a Raja song. And it was, you know, they both, again, did a very good job. You know, Jada did manage to very much keep up with Raja, but I felt like this was very much like Raja kind of understood the song a bit more, and that was why Raja ended up getting the win. It was still a very good lip sync. I think Jada did a phenomenal job. So Raja goes back to get ready for the next lip sync, and Jada gets brought her little scepter, and she has a very nice moment where she's saying about how, you know, coming back this season, they've taught her that she doesn't have to be perfect, that she doesn't have to be very prim and proper. She can be silly, she can be funny, and just be herself. And I personally have definitely felt that this season. I loved Jada in season 12. I thought she did a phenomenal job. There was a reason I wanted her to win her season. And then coming back this season, she has just felt so much lighter, so much happier, and just more comfortable with being herself. So it's been really good being able to see her all season just do what she does. She's done a really good job all season, and I'm glad we got to see it. So on to the final lip sync for the title of She Done Already Done Had Herses. We have Evie versus Raja. Now, if I remember right, the song they lip sync to now is Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. This was a very good lip sync. I think Evie did a good job, but I will say I feel like Evie relied a bit too much on tricks. Whereas Raja, I feel like Raja really felt the energy of the song and was just having a good time with it. You know, she wasn't focused on reveal. She wasn't focused on, oh, if I do this stunt, I can, you know, do it at this point. She just felt the song, and during the lip sync, I was like, for me, I would give it to Raja. I think Evie's doing a really great job, but I feel like with the sort of song it didn't need the tricks. It didn't need, you know, the wig reveals. It didn't need the, like, splits and stuff like that. And the winner is Raja. Raja is crowned the queen of She Done Already Done Had Herses. She gets her little scepter as well, along with Evie, but she also gets the case with the $50,000. I almost said pounds. Personally, I think it was the right choice. That's who I would have given it to. I think, you know, the rest of the queens are still fairly new into, you know, being a winner of Drag Race. And I feel like with Raja being such a veteran and being able to come back and just do as well as she's done, it's nice to see that she gets something back from that, and to be able to, you know, win that title and that bit of money, I think is just really nice. Especially considering, if you think about it, when she won, she didn't get as much as the rest of the queens got when they won, apart from Vivian. Obviously, Vivian got nothing. But yes, that is the queen of She Done Already Done Had Herses. We've got Raja as our queen for that. Let's move on to the main event and the lip sync for the title Queen of Queens and the winner of the season. So the 4 queens come out. We've got Jinx, Shay, Monet, and Trinity. I don't remember if that's how they were stood, but that's how I've done the order. Just because that's like sort of the lip sync order. So we get the wheel again with their faces. We spin it, and the first queen is Jinx Monsoon. We spin it again, and the second queen is Shea Coulee. And we find out the song that they will be lip syncing to is Judas by Lady Gaga. And I was sat there and I was like, oh, this is interesting song. They lip sync. Personally, I was more drawn to seeing Jinx do her lip sync than I was to Shea Coulee. I still think Shea did a good job. But for me, I think, because they both sort of had reveals. Like, Jinx had this really nice red sort of dress on, but, you know, she revealed it, so she was wearing a bodysuit, but she could at least, like, move the dress around. And Shay's just kind of, like, came down and off, and she was in, like, a bodysuit. I didn't like Shay's haircut, like, the style of the wig. It, you know, that and the makeup kind of put me off, like, I don't know, it just kind of confused me a bit, I think. But, yeah, all in all, I think Jinx won this, and the winner is announced as Jinx. So it's a shame, because it's a shame on one hand, because I want Jinx to win anyway, so I'm really happy that Jinx gone through. But at the same time, I'm almost a bit sad for Shea, because this is like exactly what happened in season 9. She went out in her first round of lip syncs in the finale. But again, you know, we get a nice touching moment with Shea, you know, talking to the judges and that. It's just, yeah. It's a shame it ended this way, but unfortunately someone has to sashay away. It's a competition show, and honestly, Shay's been doing amazing this season. You know, if I'd had my way, there would have been a couple of extra times that Shay would have won that she didn't, or could have been in the top. And, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But, yeah, Shay gets her scepter and gets told to, not sashay away, but, you know. And Jinx gets to move on to the second round of lip syncs. Up next, we've got Monet Exchange versus Trinity the Tuck. That's right, the twinners have to lip sync against each other in the first round. And, I mean, I think it's fair. I suppose it's one of those things, you know, if you weren't certain they were going to get to the second round, it was kind of good that they went together at the first round, so then at least we got that rematch. I can't for the life of me remember what the song was. That's annoying. Honestly, again, they both did a really good job. For me personally, I could have seen it going either way, and I wouldn't have been mad. I think Monet did a fantastic job. I think Trinity did a really good job. But again, they're both really well known for how good they are at lip syncing. So, you know, when it comes down to it, we find out that the winner of the lip sync is Monet Exchange. Well done, Monet. You've, again, done fantastically well this season. If I'd had my way, you would have been in the top a couple more times. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, done a really good job. She moves on to the, you know, final lip sync. Trinity gets a really nice moment with the judges again, talking about, you know, how grateful she is for everything. I do like the fact that they also put in like a confessional moment in there where it shows that she wasn't bitter that Monet won. She was like, you know, well done, Monet, you know, you did a really good job, go and win that crown. You know, I thought that was just so... It was just such a nice moment, and it was just so nice to kind of see that they really do have that friendship, because I think throughout most of the season, as much as they've been very close, it's almost been that kind of like, as Monet's been saying, it's the survivor sort of like thing where they're like, oh, well, we know each other, we can get each other to the end. And it's like, you know, they got to the end, but it's kind of nice that considering only one of them got to the final lip sync, that the other one was just like, yeah, you've done really well. I'm really happy that you've managed to get there. Yeah, it was just really nice to see. So, the final lip sync is against Jinx Monsoon and Monet Exchange. And they have to lip sync, I almost said sing, lip sync to Swish Swish by Katy Perry featuring Nicki Minaj. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice in song. Jinx came out in this like really nice dress looking thing, and Monet Exchange came out in this nice like quite short dress. Now, when they were both stood there, Jinx looked quite confident. I couldn't help but notice that Monet looked really worried. I don't know if that's a case of maybe she was like, she felt they had been like favouring Jinx the entire season, so she was worried that that was going to play into it. I'm not sure what it was, but she did look like she maybe psyched herself out. In the lip sync, I think they both did a really good job. I love the fact that Jinx's like dress turned around and became like a weird cape thing, and she had like a body, like a jumpsuit, in the same sort of fabric. I thought that was great. I did think maybe Monet's dress was gonna do something because it looked a bit puffy around the skirt area. So I thought maybe it was gonna like come down or something. I don't know. I don't know if it was supposed to and it just didn't. Um, I thought this was a good lip sync for me. I think Jinx had it, and I think part of that was just Monet did look. I don't know. She just looked a bit rattled. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if we'll find out. There was something up, and maybe that's why. But I felt like Jinx had it, and we find out afterwards that Jinx is the winner. Jinx is crowned the Queen of Queens. I think she's done a fantastic job all season. I'm really happy with that. She's the one I was rooting for as soon as the cast was announced, and I'm really happy that she made it to the end, got to the finale, and just went straight up to the top. I thought this was just a great trajectory for her. And yeah, she's our first Queen of Queens. I will say I am really I'm really sad because everyone else that essentially lost their lip sync, or even Raja, who won her lip sync, she got like a really emotional talk with Rue, and Monet didn't. I don't know if there was something and they just ended up cutting it, but Rue thanked Monet for doing a fantastic job throughout the season. They gave her scepter, and she was like, "Oh, nice! This is really nice." And then they were just like, "Let the music play, done." And I was just kind of, "Oh, okay." Is there a reason why Monet doesn't get like a nice little heartfelt moment? I don't know. Maybe it was because they thought that she had her moment when they did the runway. I don't know, because she got quite emotional. I mean, everyone did during the runway. Um, Monet was saying to RuPaul about how, she hopes she knows how much everyone really, truly appreciates her and loves her. And they're so grateful for the opportunity of doing the show and everything like that. I wonder if they were like, oh, that was... We had that. We didn't need her to do another bit. But I don't know. I would have liked to have seen her have like a little moment with the scepter at least. I really loved Jinx Scepter. I thought it was beautiful. But yes, Jinx is our Queen of Queens. When will they do another one? I don't know. I would like them to kind of like really space them out. Just because I don't want it to become like another thing like normal Drag Race, like All Stars, where we're kind of like, oh, look, another one. Oh, look, another one. And I just think it would be nice to kind of have it as that special thing where it only happens like once in a blue moon. And I think it would also be nice because you'd really get to kind of like, I don't know, have like so many options of winners you could ask back. Because like at the moment, we've already got two winners of UK that haven't come back yet. I know Lawrence probably wouldn't, but we've still got people like Alaska, who was really sad she didn't come back. Bob, who said that she would love to come back. There's so many queens already, but just think about if they leave it a few years, how many more queens they would have as the option to come back for. So I think it would be nice just to leave it that bit extra. But yeah, leave me a comment down below. Would you like to see this be left sort of like for a bit, like leave it for a while and then do another season of this? Or is this some... I mean, I just don't see them having enough winners to be able to do it so frequently, but how do you feel about it? Would you like to see it, done more frequently? Are there any of the queens that didn't win this season that you would like to see come back and do it again? I mean, I don't know if that's an option, but I do wonder. They do it with All-Stars. Queens that have been on that didn't win an All-Star season have come back again. So, you know, and not even just from All Stars 1. We had Ginger come back on All Stars 6, and she was on All Stars 2. So, let me know down below. How do you feel about that? You know, do you think queens that didn't win this season should have the chance to come back and compete for the title again? You know, would you like to see this be, you know, really spread out so it really feels, because I feel like if it's really spread out it will feel a lot more special when it comes across, um, or would you like it to happen more frequently? Let me know down below. While you're there, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I will see you lovely people next time. See ya.